Fadi, theater set specialist, Hama. A Syrian citizen is a number. Dreaming is not allowed. Hossam, computer programmer, Altel. When you meet somebody coming out of Syria for the first time, you start to hear the same sentences. That everything is okay inside Syria. Syria is a great country. The economy is doing great. It'll take him like 6 months, up to 1 year, to become a normal human being, to say what he thinks, what he feels. Then they might start whispering. They won't speak loudly. That is too scary. After all that time, even outside Syria, you feel that someone is listening. Someone is recording. Muhammad, Professor, Jobar. There are differences in Syrian society, as in any society. Despite those differences, we recognize each other as Syrians. The key problem has been how to build and how to manage a state. The Syrian state inherited a Syrian army designed by the French, and the French designed it to divide and rule. They appealed to religious minorities to go into the army. Minorities were in an economic situation where they naturally wanted jobs. The French saw that, and at the same time wanted to put them against the Sunni majority, which opposed the French. The result was an army that drew too heavily on minority communities. The Ba'ath Party came along with an idea of pan-Arabism. This brought Syrians of different backgrounds together, but did not honestly address the problem that Syria is multicultural and multi-ethnic. Hafez al-Assad used the Ba'ath Party. He was a military person and didn't really believe in democracy or pluralist politics, or all of those liberal ideas that other national figures believed in at the time. He relied on Alawites more than others, even though he later killed a lot of them because they were his rivals. It was pragmatic to use primordial relationships to consolidate power, but it ultimately created even more divisions in Syria. Assad was a shrewd politician. He managed various players within the Syrian mosaic and patched together a system loyal to him. He allied himself with the traditional urban merchant class and gave them space to make money. At the same time, he kept the underprivileged communities happy with trickle-down state funds, like subsidies for workers and peasants. He allied with traditional Sunni clerics because he knew that they had control over the religious narrative in society. In the late 1970s, the Muslim Brotherhood had its own vision and used force to try to bring it into effect. Assad used his alliance with clerics to fight the Brotherhood, and some of those clerics, amazingly, stood by him and then his son. There was opposition to him from the left, and he destroyed that too. Aysam, accountant, rural Aleppo. In my opinion, there used to be coexistence, but under security pressure and judicial control. It wasn't real coexistence. You couldn't even say to someone, "You're Kurdish," or "You're Sunni," or "Shiite." It was forbidden. You'd be fined or punished. We weren't educated about the different people in the country, so there wasn't real integration. Arabs didn't know about Kurdish culture. Arabs and Kurds knew nothing about Turkmens. We'd hear that there were people called Syriacs and Assyrians, but who are they, and how do they live? We didn't know. The Druze? You know that they live in Syria, but what is their culture, and what do they want? We were all just groups of strangers, a country of closed communities held together by force. Abdul Rahman, engineer, Hama. There was an attempted military coup against Hafez al-Assad, but it failed, and the Muslim Brotherhood escaped to Hama, which was the capital of its movement in Syria. The army invaded the city from many directions. They started with shelling, and then chose neighborhoods in which to start killing people. In one neighborhood, they gathered males over 13 years old and executed them. They left the corpses so people could see them. The army came to my grandparents' neighborhood and took 4 of my uncles. A few days later, they invaded my parents' neighborhood and started kidnapping men in the same way. My father told my mother that he might never come back. But then my dad's best friend called the commanding officer and told him to halt the executions because all the people they detained were government workers. He said, "This is a friendly neighborhood. They all work for us."